Yeah, next week is like 6 degrees, 7 degrees, 8 degrees, 11 degrees. Awesome.
Gary, you lost your beard.
He shaved?
No, like, because you are Gary right now.
Oh, yeah. Where is he anyways?
I think he's in Vancouver. Um, what is it? Sadie Bug, I think his youngest or something has something going on, or I don't know, man. Those three daughters, I can't keep up.
Oh, yeah, I saw him post something with Sadie. Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely somewhere because I just posted it the other day.
Yeah, and
So
it's
what's going
funny,
on,
like,
buddy?
oh, not much. Like, yeah, we're
Oh,
all getting like, even down here, we're getting slammed with cold ass weather, and he's got nothing up there in the Northwest. He says he's like, I don't think he's shoveled. And I think he said he's only used his wipers like once to dust off a light little dusting of snow.
I
That's
mean,
it.
he should watch what he says because it's going to catch up with him probably February, March.
Never know, man. Yeah, it'll just kind of do like a big U-turn and then just head straight
Yeah.
northwest.
I think we're supposed to get like we're 16 to 22 inches tonight and tomorrow.
Oh, man. Well, hey, I appreciate you coming on since Gary's too busy. Meanwhile, you're going to give yourself what, 3 hours of sleep in between shifts and still knock out a podcast. It's not even your own.
Right. Yeah, so I worked 11 o'clock last night to 3:30 today. It's 5:40 now, and I got to be back to work at 11.
Oh, man.
I mean, he could have brought his laptop and done it from a hotel, no?
Oh man,
I
he's
mean, we
done
got
stuff from the truck before. I think he's
right.
just getting soft.
He just wanted a break.
Yeah, I
Yep.
get it.
No, it's all good. So what's up, dude?
Not much, man. Lots going on. Feeling good.
Oh,
Um,
that's good.
yeah, like I feel like a lot. Like my energy's back. Put on a couple pounds, which is good. And finger feeling, neuropathy stuff is starting to subside more so. So all positive stuff. Now just trying to play catch up. Now, obviously, we're in a new year and getting ready for new things and shows and all that other stuff. Because man, it's unreal. Like as soon as January hits, it's like boom. Then it's like okay, Pitts is like yeah, a couple months, but it feels like days away, really. And then now Mustang Week, Galveston seems to be gaining quite a bit of traction as well. So like there's lots of stuff on the front side of the year now, not just, in the latter portion.
Yeah. I mean, Pitts, I was thinking about it today. Like, it's creeping up quick. Like, I got an axle to fix in my trailer still. I got shit to do. But at least our house is booked and all that's done early this year. So at least
Yeah,
we're
yeah, we're prepared from a accommodation standpoint, but I think uh we've generally been pretty good about that.
yeah.
Just,
I'm
trying to get the
excited.
parts.
I'm excited about it. Honestly, that house we had last year, this one's even better. And I feel like the one we had last year was perfect. So what car are you bringing? Have you decided? I see you started working on the white car. That tells me you plan on bringing that
No,
because you
I
haven't
just
touched the thing in like 5 years.
so it was I looked because I in the podcast a couple weeks ago, I was like, you know what? I've been procrastinating so bad. I'm going to turn it into like a foxbody advent calendar. I'm just going to remove like one bolt a day on like the whole timing cover ordeal and just get it done. And the reality was, I think I did it over the course of 3 or 4 days, but it's off. I mean, it's ready to, I ordered a new balancer and that type of shit, right? 3G alternator,
Mhm.
since all that stuff is all off anyways. And I'm debating, man, if I want to put the gear drive setup that I've had for it forever. I opted against the cam, so I had a B303 sitting on the shelf here forever, and I was just gonna, you know what I mean? You're this far in, and then I'm like, you know what? The exhaust on that car is so unique the way it is. I don't think I want to go down the rabbit hole of opening stuff up that I don't need to. So opted against the cam, but now I'm like, do I do the gear drive or do I not do the gear drive?
I mean, if you've had it, why not?
Well, the instructions are very poor, believe it or not. And I'm pretty confident that, I mean, I know how to, like, I can figure it out. Don't get me wrong. 100% I can. The only thing that I would say I haven't, like, call it a myth, like myth busted yet, is that a lot of people are like, oh, it will, they're prone to wearing out cam bearings quicker because you don't have whatever the softness or the play of that a chain gives. So because everything is mechanical, but you would think that'd be the same thing for the main bearings. You know what I mean?
So
Because the crank's
let me
got
ask you
one, you know?
let me ask you a question. Does it matter to you? How often do you drive it? When was the
Well,
last time you drove
I know,
it?
right? Like part of me is sort of like, you know what? Just do it because like there's miles on the car and everything. And then if it something happens and the motor comes out and you get on with it. So I just think it'd be cool because like I personally have only seen and heard one fox body in like my life, like in person with a gear drive on it. And
I don't think I've
some people
ever
say
heard
that, yeah, like some people are like, oh, they're noisy and you're gonna hate it. And it's just like, I don't think I'm gonna hate it. Like I know what it's like. It sounds pretty cool. Your timing's dead on, so you never need to worry about that. Um, so I don't know. That's the only decision I need to make. And then other than LMR's parts getting delayed because of the weather, I'm ready to slap everything back together.
what kind of weather did you get that would delay the parts? Cold?
Well, see,
Please don't tell me it's because of cold.
it's not because of cold. Cold is part of the equation, right? So we have a lot of rain. It rained all last night. It stopped and now it just started misting, and the mist is turning to ice. So,
Yeah.
kind of like 2 years ago, right? There was enough rain that turned to ice, and then you being in your industry, you know what it's like when branches get all the weight of ice on them, and then wind, and then they break and they hit power lines, and boom, you're out of power for till someone can
Yeah.
fix it. So,
Yeah.
um, so there's that aspect. So everyone's, preparing for that. Then of course we're not built, don't have the same insulation on our pipes that northern climates do. So people are in panic about bursted water pipes and all that. So there's like a lot of prep. Like, dude, I was wrapping palm trees up, wrapping the outdoor pipes because like they don't just all have. And I don't. You probably like your outside faucets. Can you turn them off from inside the house so that way
Yes.
you don't have to worry?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, we can't do that here.
But not everyone does. Like some people just have bleeders on them, or some people don't have any, and they still don't freeze. It's just because our
Well,
like is your I don't know if you have a basement. Are your basements insulated?
no, so that's the problem. So there's no basements here. So usually what happens is you're on a lot of homes are just built up on a foundation. Sometimes there's a crawl space underneath, which allows for all that cold air and everything else to have a place to breathe and flow through. So you don't
But the
have
floors not in the floors aren't insulated.
if you're on a concrete slab, then you got the concrete.
Well, the concrete slab there, then they would probably run the pipes through like up through walls. But I'm saying like in a crawl space, I wonder if the houses down there are insulated, their crawl spaces, like the floors.
I'm
Because
not
up
sure.
here, like our pipes aren't really covered. Our crawl spaces and basements are insulated. So if you have a crawl space, there's just insulation on the floor, but the
Yeah.
pipes aren't really necessarily wrapped.
Yeah. And hey man, like don't get me wrong, a lot of people freak out for no reason, and that's part of the problem. You know what I mean? Like the grocery stores, people were in the panic past 3 days, grabbing water, grabbing toilet paper, like the same old bullshit, like they think the world's going to end. And so it's more the infrastructure not the same, people's idiotic behavior, all of these things just make for like this recipe of like, you know what, it's best you just stay home and
Yeah.
and don't go out there. So That's kind of what it is, man. And like, yeah, people don't have the tires for it. They started spraying though. Like they had the roads were sprayed on the
Brine,
full road. They sprayed fucking brine on Wednesday.
that's the worst, dude. That
Yeah,
shit destroys cars.
I know. I know. And I was out. So my Viper truck, and you know, I got caught in it. So I just kept driving that. I'm like, I'm not driving anything else the rest of the week. I'm like, this one's already got, you know what I mean? So I'll have to go hit up some underwash detailing
Yeah.
here next week and get all that shit. Cause man, yeah, it gets everywhere.
It's been a pretty rough winter here, man. We've gotten snow like every week. Like last weekend we had 8 inches. So I still have I have like a foot on the ground right now. And then there's potentially 20 plus coming tonight. It's been a pretty brutal winter.
Yeah.
But what are you gonna do? It is what it is. Well, the problem is it sucks for us up here. Like if you don't have like a garage, like you're kind of on hold with your car because it kind of just locks you down. Like there ain't much you could do.
Yeah. No, it's true. You can just kind of dream about having
Right.
a nice heated facility or something. But like even that, like I've got heat in here, but it's like you just don't get motivated. I mean, you just know the weather's shitty outside and it's like the sun's not there and it's just hard, man. I was trying to edit a video today and I was just like, you know what? Call it creator content block, whatever it is. I just no, it's not happening.
Man, this is coming from a guy who was born and raised in Canada.
Well, dude, I left.
You've
I
gone
left for a
soft.
reason.
You've gone soft.
In 10
You should
years of 120 degrees and desert, man, and then you come back to this and yeah, that's not a good transition.
Lewis is the worst though. He gets like a little frost at all and he's having a heart attack.
Oh, I know. I know.
It's too
Oh,
funny.
so how about you,
So
man? Any new tricks for your car for pits?
not dude, I haven't touched the damn thing. It's been parked since Foxtoberfest. It's usually how it goes. I usually park and forget about it until Foxtoberfest unless there's something I want to do. But there's nothing really big I want to do to it. Like I do want to change the interior, but I'm not like it's not a necessity or a rush. You know, I got a couple little things I got to put on it, but it's like little stuff like the maker's plate thing. I like that.
Yeah.
Dumb shit. 2 screws and you're done. Just little dumb things. I did get door handles, but they've been sitting in a box. So no, it hasn't done really shit with it.
Right.
I
Well,
don't
hey, I haven't seen it because I didn't go to Foxtoberfest, so it'll be interesting to see all the little tweaks and upgrades that Dom helped you out with.
Yeah, it looks way better, dude. I think you'll like it actually. Um, everything's pretty much accessible now. Like remember before, like I had the battery in the fender, and then that's where the relays for the fans were. Everything was hidden. So like the car is fully wire tucked now, but you can access everything. So like the relays are all accessible. Like the batteries now in the trunk, it's all accessible. Or vice versa. When we ran into that problem, my alternator, that was kind of a little tricky. That was kind of like the icing on the cake for me with that. Like it needed to be revamped so everything's accessible, so you can kind of do it on the fly.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what we did. But it's it's clean. It's weird because everything's accessible, but it's completely tucked.
Well, that's
So
good. That's how it should be, man. Because yeah, that's why I've always not liked wire tucks in general, like just generalizing. Because like I know when I do them, I'll try and make things as accessible as possible just for those reasons. But like a lot of people don't, you know what I mean? Like they'll tuck shit so far up underneath the, inner fender on the top of the rail where like just, you know what I mean? If you actually got to do something or troubleshoot, or it's just like you're screwed. Like
yeah, like for
tow
example,
the
like
car
now,
home and get a lift, you know?
right? Like for now, like example, like all my fan relays are tucked into the back side of the headlight bucket.
Yeah.
The opening and like the rad support there, like they're tucked inside there, but you just reach in there and pull them out.
Nice.
So, but you can't really see them. You know what I mean? So it took all summer. I mean, it took us all summer to figure out where we wanted to lay things out. So it came out good. I'm happy with it. But other than that, dude, yeah, whatever. I mean, it is what it is. I'm
Yeah.
excited to see. So you didn't answer. What car are you bringing?
Not the white car.
The silver car? Or
Yeah, I'll.
because
I
I'm
want
just
to.
gonna be straight with you, bro. You're not gonna make it with the Cobra. Let's just be honest.
Hey, I could bring it in project status.
Don't do that because you only have one time for first impressions.
Yeah, yeah, no, I know. Yeah, I've come to terms where I don't want to. Like, could it be done? It probably could, but I'm not. So I'm just gonna ride it out. Like, and that, and I want to make really good content with it because the problem is if I like try and rush to get it done, then I'm definitely not gonna pick up the camera or care because you just
Mm,
sort of just, I mean, your focus isn't there. So like when you're trying to document stuff and create content, like you really gotta almost you're doing two things at once.
yeah,
And your approach is a little bit different, not that the outcome's any different, but it's just like in order to make good content out of it, you got to make sure that people can see things and when the camera or where it's angled, and then you're explaining stuff and all this other this and that. And like sort of like today, if you're not in the right headspace to do that, um then it just won't work. Like me and Gary talked about it with the ship box. It's like when we did that, there was so much like the true frustrations and the true stuff, like the gold from a content perspective, none of that was captured because we were only recording what we wanted to
right.
record, when and why, and in that moment. So that's a big thing there. So yeah, to answer your question, if anything, it'll be my silver notch since I did pretty much button up everything that needed to be done to it last year, which was great. So, at the end of last year, drove
That's
it
the
around.
that,
Yeah.
that's the car I want you to bring. Honestly,
You told me
from
you wanted me to bring the stalker again.
well, I mean, you could bring them both. You've brought 5 cars to shows before. You know what I mean? So, like, no, if I had to choose, it would be the Stalker, the silver car. But for my own personal reasons, I want to see the car again in person. I haven't seen that car since like I don't even know when was that Foxtoberfest last?
Probably
22.
21. Foxtoberfest 21.
Oh yeah, that's okay. So that's when I saw it, and it was raining that night when I saw it. So I saw it at brewery night, and then I didn't have time to see it show day. So it was like raining. I've never seen that car like dry in the sun. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I get you.
So I
Um,
want to see it in person.
yeah, so the only pending item on that car is the trunk setup. I, did all the air ride stuff, like tucked everything up away, like it's actually all mounted off the parcel shelf upside down. So you can't actually see the air tank or the compressor. It's completely hidden, and wanted it to be pretty discreet that way. And just have like usability of the trunk space. So I'm not trying to do anything crazy back there, but the only part was the amplifier and the 12-inch sub that belongs with the rest of the stereo. The amplifiers in the car just kind of loose, but that's the sub's never actually been installed. I just had like this loose 10-inch JL in a box that you could plug or unplug at your leisure. So Keith at K Designs is going to take it next month, and then he'll get the trunk sorted out for me, and then that's it. Car's done.
Nice. I'm
As
looking
done
forward
as
to
it's going to get, unless like wheels get swapped or something like that. But
what
I'll
wheels are
probably,
on it now? Those OZs or whatever they are?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Doesn't Lewis love those wheels?
Um, no,
I don't
he's not.
think he likes them, right?
No, he. Man, there was a sweet set of HREs that were listed up earlier today, and they were in Florida. And I'm like, please tell me you bought these. And he missed the boat. But
Yup. I don't know. So, are you still keeping the Cobra on the DL, like the things you're doing?
we could
Is that
probably
all?
talk about it.
It's
It's
all
the pod.
secret.
Let's see. No, we can talk about it. It's not like it's sitting behind me or anything. But it's done at paint, right?
Yeah.
So I got to give
I
it
just
that.
didn't know what you've released or not, because I'm not gonna lie. I haven't been watching too many videos. I don't know what you told people, what you didn't tell people, what the deal is,
No, so
what's
the
secret.
only thing that public would know is obviously the car's painted. Yeah, I cut the roof, so it's a T-Top Cobra, and I don't think I haven't officially said what the color is
Okay.
because I just assumed a lot of people wouldn't. They'd either assume or just not even know the difference or care for that matter. And then nobody does know why I cut the strut towers out yet. So everyone's like, "Did you get a chassis or are you going SLA?"
Hmm. Well, I know the answer to that, but I guess let's still remain a secret.
We could talk about it.
It's up to you. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. You and I've talked a lot about this car, so I know pretty much the car, but I don't know what you put out there, what you want put out there. But it is cool. Uh, I'm curious. I'm the most excited. Okay, so you know I hate red, and we went back and forth about this. Like I'm not a fan of red at all. And I'm like, Chris, just repaint the fucking car a different color. Like you don't like red either. What are we doing? And you're like, I gotta keep it, red because it's whatever you said, because it's a Cobra, and I gotta keep. But I'm like, there's nothing left on this car that's Cobra, literally nothing.
The
So
VIN,
what? That's it though. It's not even like Ford
it's
Red.
the history is Cobra. Well, here, how about this? We'll talk about everything except for the wheels.
All right, fair enough. But that is my favorite part of the whole thing.
Well, you got to leave some people
All right,
hanging.
all right, all
Yeah.
right, all right, all right. So you go ahead. You say what you want to say about it. But there's nothing left about this car that's Cobra or original. Literally nothing.
Okay, the body, the skirts are Cobra.
Come on, bro.
The
You know
wing is
what I'm
still
saying?
a Cobra wing, and it's man, and I got to say this, and I don't know how to say this without almost sounding what's the word I'm looking for? Um, fuck, whatever. The car was painted, like they finished, right? So I go over there and I go to the shop and I see this bright red fox body. And it's not that I was underwhelmed. It's just because, you know, you have this vision in your head of what this thing's supposed to look like. And you walk in and albeit a fresh, beautifully shiny, disassembled fox body and a red fox body at that, it's just like, oh, it's just a fox body that's red, you know what I mean, with some nice paint on it. It's just like it took me a moment. I think it was the actual shock of realizing I got to put this whole fucking thing together. Cuz it's like you think when paint is done, it's just like you're going to walk in and be wowed about it and then you're just sort of like, oh fuck, like what did I get myself into?
No,
Like that's
that's
a lot of
actually
money and now I got all this work ahead of me.
well, that's even more stressful because now you got a perfect paint job and you got to put it together without destroying it.
Well, that's exactly it. So,
Right. Now you got to watch
um,
for nicks when you hang the doors, nicks for everything.
so I made them hang the doors
Hmm.
and I made them put the hatch on, but fenders are off. Obviously, you can't do any of the skirts because without the fenders, you can't put the skirts on. Of course, front bumper cover isn't on. Rear bumper, I don't want on because um, once I get it home, I need to paint the floor. So the floor, Um, they did like all the inner wheel well stuff. So all the engine bays sprayed, goes right up to the seam and the transmission tunnel. Inner fender areas are all sprayed a nice satin black. So did like a beautiful job there. So I just got to get the car up on a lift and then, prep and paint the floor, which will go the same kind of satin chassis black, whatever the hell you want to call it. And then that'll allow me to do the few mods so that I can roll my chassis underneath the car and drop it on.
So there you go. That's the answer. It's a chassis car.
Chassis car, frame off restoration.
And the chassis matches the car, the color.
Yeah, so it's definitely a one of one spec Ferrari Rosso Corsa red frame.
Yep. It looks good too. I can tell you that. I think the whole project's sick. I still disagree with you on those seats, but that's okay. The color, I should say the color combo, not what you're
Dude,
doing with it.
so I showed it in the last podcast, but I'm sure you wouldn't have seen it. I've actually got this shit sitting here, so I'll kind of hold it up so you can see it. So that's an opal gray door panel,
Yeah.
right? That's a white and gray door panel.
Mm-hmm.
This is, fuck, what do they call it? Dove gray. I sprayed this one. It's a shitty door panel.
Yep.
But the Dove gray, like, don't get me wrong, like, it looks pretty good. But, like, do you think you'd really tell the difference?
Well, yeah, I do. It looks a lot lighter. In the video I'm looking at right now, it looks a lot lighter. You don't see that?
Well, like, it's light. Don't get me wrong, but, like,
I don't know that walking up to the car, someone's going to be like, that's Dove Gray or that's Opal. But, like, if you
yeah,
put
like,
them
someone's
side
going to
by
be
side-
like, yeah, let's be like, oh man, like, is that just like what opal looks like when it's really clean? Like, that's what I don't want.
Yeah, so I get what you're saying. So if you don't have the comparison side by side, I could see people not getting the difference.
So, like, yeah, I want lighter, but, like, I don't think I want white, or fuck it, maybe I just do a white interior.
No, dude. Now you're really killing me. You got to stop.
Harris would love it.
I mean, there is white and red car combos out there, though, right? Yeah, I think we've seen that. Isn't there a vert that's got that combo that we know of?
Yeah, like a lot of, yeah, Harris's, right? Lou Creative, his vert's
Yeah, but
white and red.
there's another one too, I thought. Or maybe his is the only one.
But, like, that was a factory option just in the convertibles. Just, you know what I mean? Like, the whites, some of the white interiors had white consoles, so it'd be like white dash pad console doors, and then, like, the door panels had the inserts and the contrasting color, whether it was regatta blue, red, the gray. Well, there's black, there's white and black, I think, in a few rare occasions as well. Like, could be wrong with that. But yeah, I just feel like I don't know, like, the whites in a Fox, they never last, right? Like, they always turn yellow, like some of the plastics and stuff, and then things just really start looking not so good.
Right. So it's going to be a Roadster Shop chassis car, Cobra, Roadster Shop Cobra, mini tubbed Cobra with T-tops cut into it, Ferrari red.
Yeah. That I need to figure out how to make lower than Roadster Shop makes it lower, or makes it low.
That might be challenging.
Oh, don't get me honestly, dude. I've, like, for anybody that doesn't understand what goes into, like, trying to build something like a chassis, you're ahead of the game in many ways. You know what I mean? Like, you're getting something that, I mean, the suspension's there, the brakes are, well, depending how you get it built out. So mine's fully it's as loaded as you can get it. The fuel tank, the fuel pump, like, everything is coming in it to make my life as easy as possible. But when you get into something like, oh, let me see how I can make the suspension, you know, a little bit more versatile, or what's going to work, and how am I going to get my wheel and tire combo to work the way that I want it to, so on and so forth. And then, like, you don't have the chassis, or you don't have the car. And then there's things like, well, people do know I'm putting a Godzilla motor in it. Well, there's no headers that are made that work on the Godzilla in that chassis as of yet. So now I got to figure out, you know, Ultimate's being kind enough to help me out to a certain degree. And I'm just going to see if I can modify theirs instead of getting like a full, like, having to customize a whole set from scratch. So it's just like all that stupid little bullshit to make things work. And of course, I cut the strut towers out. So now I need to come up with my I opted to, I didn't want to just do weld-in panels. I didn't want the bodywork in the engine bay. So to me, it's removable panels. So that way, for what we were talking about earlier, if you need access to get to relays or the computer or whatever it might be, you know, is it all body worked and smoothed and beautiful? How some of like a Mario engine bay? No, but is it serviceable and usable? 100% yes. So it's going to kind of be like that
In between.
balance. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. There's gonna be no holes or nothing like that left in there.
No, 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 no. And yeah, I've got a couple ideas to try and make things a little bit more seamless. Actually, I think Dom was sort of on that journey with his. So me and him talked a little bit on his GT
Yeah.
and trying to come up with a few ideas there to clean things up. And of course, like makers having that front new piece, like I think that's a great win for a lot of cars out there. Cause like that was always just a troublesome area. Didn't matter how nice you made the bay, like just to cover up that whole front part
Yeah.
off the bumper cover. You know what I mean?
It's
So
ABS too, right? It's plastic.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I guess that's a good thing that it's plastic. It's probably way cheaper for people, and it's gonna feel more. Uh, I guess it's better for the masses than the metal ones. It's just gonna bolt right in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, for sure.
What what instrument cluster are you going with?
I think I'm gonna do the what is it? I'm just gonna go with the Dakota Digital, but like the RXT one, like the one that you get like some digital readout on top of
I like
the
I like
analog.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that for that car. It's gonna be cool. But why not just put the thing on air shocks? Because a
So
roadster shop chassis should go as low as you can get your exhaust on a normal Fox.
well, that's just it. Um,
Because for anyone listening, who doesn't know, I'm sure most people know by now, but the exhaust runs through the chassis. So as low as you can lower your normal Fox body with the exhaust, you should be able to go that low with the chassis.
yeah, like you'd think you could pretty much do frame on ground, old mini trucking ways, right?
Right.
Um, the challenge is just the design of the way the coilovers are set up in there. And from Roadster Shop's perspective, which we discussed it at length, and I get it, they're trying to deliver something that is technically DOT compliant. I mean, like something that is
Right.
safe. They don't have to worry about any possible issues that could implicate them from a safety perspective. So the wording was pretty much like there's most likely some options. However,
We're not going to tell you what they
we would like
are.
you to take the chassis the way that it is. And fair enough, so at that point, of course, I'm chatting with Ride Tech, which the problem is with those types of really slim bag, designs and whatnot. I'm a little skeptical about in terms of the ride quality. So then I had conversations with Universal Air to see if that there's something else. But long story short, there's not much I can do until I get the chassis. And then I can like do measurements. I can, really see what's in there and then start cross-referencing and comparing parts to come up
And
with a
at that
solution.
point, you're going to want it full weight. So you almost got to finish it. Right?
Yeah.
I would imagine. Is this the most expensive car you ever put together for yourself?
Oh, by far. By far. Like the for anybody who followed the Reef GT car I threw in auction, right? The car pulled 32K, which I thought was okay for an auto car. I was hoping more like 36, but whatever. So to think you have this mint 13K mile 93 Reef on Silver GT, whatever. It was automatic, but all original, right? Beautiful car. Sold that car and it covered the cost of my paint.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I totally get it.
I could have had 2 of those cars and then the other one sell for that much. It would have covered the cost of the chassis, or you know what I mean? Like, it's so now I got a chassis that I pretty much traded a car up for, and I don't even have a car anymore. I just got something that I can bolt 4 wheels and tires on, and I can't even drive it, you know?
Right.
So yeah, to put things in perspective, 100%. Like, the chassis is pretty loaded, and then it comes down to all the little nitty gritty stuff, which I know you can appreciate, like whatever you do in the interior and lighting and all that type of stuff. Still have wheels and tires to pay for, obviously, but um, like, are there cheap ways of doing it? Sure. Um, the whole T-roofing thing, right? Because I managed to find OEM, or sorry, NOS glass and rubbers and seals and all that, so I don't run into, me fighting things that won't fit properly and don't seal properly and everything else. Because, like, the last thing that I want is, you know you put that much money in a car, then you half-ass it with like some shitty seals and components. And it, again, not to knock the fucking Velocity car, but like, there are certain things you can't just build a car of that caliber and throw on a part that's like a tenth of,
Oh,
like, it
I
doesn't
mean,
line up to the caliber of the car. You know what I mean?
you you're preaching the choir. You know how I feel about that thing.
Yeah.
The only thing I disagree with people criticizing that car is probably the money, for, like, not the whole package, for, like, some of the custom parts, because it's been kinda broken down now, and just because how do I put it? Like, the center console, I think, is ugly as shit in that car. I think the steering wheel is horrible. Now, of course, other people have different opinions, but regardless whether you like it or you don't like it, say that center console took 13 hours, right? Shop hours to build. It doesn't matter if it's ugly. It still took 13 shop hours to build. So if it's, say, 125, 150 an hour, now you do the math at 13 hours, people are like, oh, I would never pay that much for that center console. Well, yeah, it may be, regardless whether something's ugly or not, the cost of it sometimes, I mean, that doesn't really matter. That's a personal preference, but the
Yeah.
cost of it is still there. Like, the labor is still there.
No, yeah, and as long as it can be ugly, but if the quality of the product is there, because
Right.
the ugly or beautiful is subjective based on opinion. But if they wrapped it with Timu fake leather and
Right, right,
whatever.
right. Like, you shouldn't have, like, Daniel Carpenter windows in that car. Like, you can get
Exactly.
OEM you
Yeah,
can get OEM glass for cheap.
quarter horse. At least get
Right.
quarter horse to re-inject, you know what I mean, an OE set, and and
Right.
and that's fine. So, and I think, again, going back to the cost, a little inflated, but sure, they're allowed to do that. If you're first to market, you can do whatever you want. They did it. Nobody else has come to the table with such an offering. So whether
Well,
they
I
get
mean, there's a lot of them
credit,
being out there. I just feel like they rushed it to be the first. Like,
well, and
they rush it to put their stamp on it, like, we're number 1, and I think because of that, they missed the mark,
yeah. So
right?
it, I agree, and it's sort of like that. Is there value in being first to market? Will it work in their favor? Will it hurt them? Only time will tell. Like, who knows what that has done or what that looks like, in terms of pre-order or pre-sales, or whatever it is, that's going on, and whether they decide to discount by 30% or do something or change. Like, they could have built the car without the carpet, like with proper windows and whatever else, for that price point, hands down. You know what I mean? There was definitely a buffer in there. So to your point, did they just throw some stuff and leave some stuff unfinished because they needed to get it done?
Yeah,
Versus,
100%.
like, is that what you're actually going to get? Like, if you give them full ask, I would hope you
Um,
would get all the proper parts that should be going on that.
but they're
You know what I mean? But
advertising it at, like, 269,000, if I'm correct, right?
yeah.
I think that was number 269. Like, you saw the 400Ks and you saw all this, but I think the actual real number from Velocity was like 268, 269. if you're advertising it like that and you're showing it like that and debuting it like that, I would imagine that's the product they're going to deliver. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. I'll tell you this. If somebody wants to give me 250 for my Cobra,
Well, oh, I was going to go there. I was going to say that you don't plan on keeping this car.
I have no intention on keeping this car. I might
Right.
might end up being stuck with it, but I have no intention of keeping it.
It'll sell. You'll sell it.
I think once the chassis like arrives and I got a video of like the chassis and the car somewhat like starting to come together a little bit and like people can actually see all of the things that are going to be there, I think that'll start sparking some interest because, and that is honestly, that would be the time to be able to get, you know what I mean? If there were certain things that you wanted or customizations or things done a certain way to your liking, like of course, like someone's like, man, I'm going to buy that car. I want it done this way. Well, hey, if you're giving me X amount of money and I'm agreeable, I really don't care what I need to do. You're the customer.
So, really, you're building this car just to sell it.
Not to sell per se. To me, it's more about setting a tone, if you will. I guess.
I understand. Hold on, let me fill it in. You're trying to set the tone for tip.
Yeah.
Moving forward.
Yeah, and like if this car makes or breaks me, then at least I can say I did it. You know what I mean? Like I need to. It's kind of like an all-in thing. Like if I was playing poker, it's just like whatever. I'm throwing all the chips in at some. You know what I mean? Like not to say a 93 Cobra is the most desirable, but like it's on the higher end of the spectrum of things. Obviously, the chassis is on the higher spectrum of things. Having a brand new modular or not modular, brand new modern motor is on the high end spectrum of things. So it's trying to take, generally speaking, the best of the best and put it into a Fox and then to say that I did it and really kind of test the market. I want to, like, I know Velocity has done their thing. I'm in a position to be able to do it. And I kind of want to see what that looks like and whether it's something that can go forward or, you know, it's more Godzilla swaps and less average Foxy type stuff. Or, you know what I mean?
You know what I
Maybe I should
think?
shift gears.
Here's my prediction. My prediction is you will sell it most likely at an auction, and it will bring you different builds, but probably not roadster shop builds. I bet you get a lot of people who say, "I want that car without the chassis." That's my prediction.
Hey, because we've spoken at length about this chassis when it first came out.
Right.
And it's not like I was sold by the chassis, nor did I think that it was something that I would ever go running and buying. Like this is sort of like this build is so outside of my comfort zone on so many ways because like yes, it's a Fox body, but it's red, it's on a chassis, it's this, it's that. Like it's sort of all these like I really should have just decided to coyote swap it instead. Then it really would have been the trifecta of all the things I don't like. But it's I don't know, just sort of like that test of okay, well, let's see what this roadster shop chassis can really do. And you know what? Maybe if I can get it on air or if I can modify the suspension, because I've yet to see. And there's a couple pictures of other builds that are floating around right now, and I am not liking the stance on any of them. So is it the people that are building them that have no idea on how to get the stance right, or is the chassis a limiting factor? Like that is my big unanswered question right now.
Well, here's what I think on that. I don't think the chassis is a limiting factor because I've seen a lot of cars over the years with roadster shop chassis. A lot of cars, not just Fox bodies. I'm saying not Fox bodies, but other ones. Stance is always on point.
Right.
So I don't think it's the car. I got a feeling it's people are buying this chassis and spending 30 plus on it. And then when you spend 30 plus on something, the idea of when you get it to your shop that you have to change shit doesn't sit well with people, right?
Yeah.
So kind of like it's kind of like if you get it and the suspension is what suspension is, you lower a little bit and you're like, oh, well, you get what I'm saying. Like, not a lot of people are going to be like you or me and look at it and be like, well, it doesn't matter. I just spent 35,000 on this. I hate the way it looks, so change it. Like most people are just going to be in at 35 and not want to fuck with it.
Yeah, no, fair enough. Definitely truth to that. And I hope it's that easy. I genuinely do, because I mean, it's kind of prepare yourself for the worst and hope for the best. And like looking at things, you know what I mean? Because like Roadster shot, like at SEMA, like the chassis was here, and then like Ride Tech was
Right there.
maybe a 20-second walk away. So it was one of those, I was taking pictures and I was looking at the mounting points and everything else, because like, don't get me wrong, like the hats of any coilover or air ride unit, air strutter shock unit, the hats could be different, the mounting points and the way that the fitment and everything else is and clearances. But and I get Roadster Shop's take on safety, and if they've got something that they've used time and time again, because the chassis really, from a suspension standpoint, are pretty vanilla. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's not just that Fox chassis that gets that stuff. It's going to be
Right.
all the
All
other
their
cars. You know what I mean? It's just, it works across the board. So, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Now, at the same time, what I was trying to sell them on, because they were like, oh, well, if we put air on it and, figure out how to get it down low, like other people are going to want that. And I'm like, well, isn't that why we're like, you know what I mean?
No,
Working together on
no,
this so that we can, like, shouldn't you want some different business that you can upsell or charge more for at a, on a different level? But
no,
like,
no,
air's just
because
a,
they're a production company. Like,
well,
here's the
that's just
product,
it.
sell as many
Yeah.
as possible,
Yep.
right? I mean, that
Yeah.
really, when you break it down to it, and that's not an insult, that's what their company's based off of. Scan the car, create a chassis, sell as many as possible.
Yeah.
Like, who are you, like, at the end of the day, to them, like, oh, this one guy wants air ride, like, we're gonna do all this R&D and all this shit for one dude when we could sell just 50 of them the way it is. Why are we gonna waste our money?
Yeah. Well, the thing is when you have all the scans, it really doesn't take much. So to me, don't get me wrong, Roadster Shop, they don't make brakes. They don't make suspension. They don't make fuel tanks. They
No.
don't, all the stuff that's going on to their chassis is another company that's mass producing a product that they have managed to figure out what works and what doesn't. Right. So Bear Brakes or Willwood or whatever, you know what I mean, application they've figured out, and having other companies that have 3D scans of their shit, and then they can kind of go along and say, okay, yeah, no, this is going to work on here. No, that's not going to work. And when it comes to the suspension standpoint, um, I do believe that there's a little bit of static out there and people's opinions about certain quality of products. I mean, I'll say flat out, you know what I mean? Like, to me, Ride Tech's Shockwave product is inferior to the previous Cool Ride setup, right? The Firestone bags was a superior air suspension product than the new Shockwave Fox setup that they have. So, if you're a company putting out full completed chassis, and even though the components aren't yours that you're bolting onto the chassis, you're still responsible when you sell that loaded chassis. So when you're putting that suspension or those brakes or whatever on it, I mean, like, if something happens, if they put air ride in that, and let's say whatever is Universal Air's product, and bag failure, I crash the car, I kill 10 people, like, I got the chassis assembled
Right.
from Roadster Shop.
The
They're not gonna be
lawsuits
like,
still exist.
yeah. So I get it. They got to be confident with what they have. I'm sure they have all these liabilities and waivers and disclaimers and all this other bullshit and red tape, and like accountabilities like this these days just doesn't fucking exist. So it's up to me, and I'll figure it out.
Yeah. It's interesting. I'm interested to see it. I'm looking forward to this car, which is wild to me because I'm not a huge fan of Cobras because I don't know, they just don't do nothing for me. But and I also don't like red,
Yeah.
but I am interested to see it because if I'm being honest with you, I'm gonna hate to see you sell this car, and we're not gonna say what the wheels are with those wheels. That would really kind of bother me. I think they need to stay in the family or have 2 sets made. And speaking of that, I gotta send you a text message. The wheels are gonna be everything. I'm excited for it. It's gonna be cool. But I don't know. I don't think I do think it's gonna, like I said earlier, I think it's gonna get you business, but I don't think I think you're gonna get a lot of guys. I want that car without the chassis. I don't think the chassis is gonna be that big of a hit. I really don't.
Well, I guess and I'm going to do some serious number crunching and like analysis on the chassis. All right, like once it actually shows up, is like the first objection to it that a lot of people say is, oh man, that's like so heavy, right? Meanwhile, Roadster Shop is claiming that it's the same, if not like depending if you have like an aluminum drive shaft or not, and like a couple little like differences, that the weight difference is the same. So like I want to like myth bust that or
It's
validate
it's
it.
just and it's a stupid argument anyways, because who's I'm sorry, I think that's dumb. That's just I feel like that's something people are saying just to find a reason to bash it. You get that link I just sent you?
Yeah.
Isn't that funny?
That is funny. Oh man, those are funny. I love the universal bolt pattern too.
Yeah, but they'll bolt right on a Fox.
Ha. um, but it's just it's that, and then it's like the cost benefit. So you know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, if somebody wants a build to that caliber, but says they don't want the chassis, but depending what they're starting with and how far they're going, like I don't want to throw out numbers like I know what the answer is because I don't, but I am curious to see like a fully loaded chassis compared to going out like full suspension, K members, rear ends, you know what I mean, brakes,
That's a
all of
rabbit
that.
hole too, because that's a rabbit hole too though, Chris, because like what are we talking about? What kind of suspension are we talking about? We talking about a QA1 level 3? We talking about a full maximum motorsports handling kit? Like, what are you really comparing it to? And are the guys who are buying Roadster Shop chassis going drag racing and
Well,
autocrossing? Most
but
likely not.
we got to, the reality here is, generally speaking, is that if you have a chassis car, you would be comparing it to whatever the most expensive, like whatever it is, a Maximum Motorsport grip package. You know what I mean? With all the bells and whistles. Like,
Right.
would that be the comp? Because it's not that you're ever going to use it for what it was intended for. It's you're buying it because in your mind, you think that's the best thing that should be on a Fox and nothing like you're doing it just to say you have it
Isn't that what the
and to like
chassis
feel
is?
good about what to a certain degree, I think it would be.
Right. Which don't get, look, I'm not knocking the chassis. I think it's great. I think numerous people, I think you're doing a cool thing with it. Like, I like it. Like, I would build a chassis car, like, definitely. But I'm just saying, for the most people, I don't see the need for it. I just
No,
really
and,
don't.
and, and I agree totally. My one argument here, so the reason why I went chassis wasn't actually because not fully. Like, don't get me wrong. There's always a multitude of reasons why you make a decision. At least there should be. So one of it, of course, it's new and whatever to see what can be done. But like, I feel like those are just the benefits. The real reason was number one, I had a completely fucking smashed car that had to get the frame and
Yeah,
body
no,
pulled.
I get
Right.
it. Why not?
So the first objection that people would have with me building a wreck Cobra is, oh, well, it was wrecked. It's not straight. And you know what I mean? The body's compromised, the crash zones, well, that all goes away now, because as long as the body goes on the way that it is intended to sit on that frame, validates it straight. And well, now you got the structural integrity of a full chassis and not the unibody anymore. So now you just, that objection now is gone, cleared, and out the window. Um, because it was wrecked, it allowed me to modify a Cobra, because everybody would likes to, well, again, generally people like to modify stuff, and people are just scared to modify a Cobra because they don't want to hurt value or resale or any of that type of stuff. Well, I got another pass on that one because this one was wrecked. And then the number one thing is, well, I cut the fucking roof out of it, and we all know how T-top cars go. So, you know what I mean? The whole, oh
It
man,
makes sense. And listen,
you know,
it is cool, dude, and it is the next level, right? I don't disagree with that, and I do believe there's going to be no comparison on normal driving. Like normal driving down the road, it's going to ride way better. It's just
yeah.
inevitable. It's inevitable that it's going to. But performance wise, like if I'm building an autocross car or I'm building a car to drag race or something of that nature, I'm sorry, I'm going to stick with the companies who've been doing this for 30 fucking years, 40 years, like Maximum Motorsports and
Yeah.
so on. That's where I would go to if I'm trying to build a performance car. Now, if I'm looking for just a weekend cruiser and I got endless money, yeah, and I want the thing to ride like a Cadillac and look badass and be badass, sure. I think that chassis is the way to go. I just don't know
Yeah.
that it resonates well in our community. Now, of course, you're always going to have like, fuck yeah, guys. And you're going to have the guys that are downright, you pissed your money away. That's stupid. I think that that chassis is going to shine in the high end build world because there's so much politics in that realm. With high end
Well,
builders and those kind of shows that like if you don't show up with that at this point, like
I think it's also going to shine. It's going to shine on 4-cylinder builds,
mm,
because it's mentally going to give people like the, oh, okay, it wasn't an original 5.0 cart, and despite the fact there's no fucking difference on that body, I feel like just it's the illusion that, oh, okay, it started off as a 4-cylinder, but now it's got this, so that just makes it better than it was. So I think that
yeah,
that's that one. And if or when somebody ever pops out like a reproduction shell, like, that's been rumored to be floating
yeah,
around to like build your own Fox, I think it'll shine there as well, because we know those shells are not going to come
yeah.
straight from wherever they're coming from.
No,
So
it's gonna come from
um
China.
yeah, so you know what I mean, then you'd have the argument of, okay, yeah, no, we got a bunch of fucking shady Chinese sheet metal
It
here, but
listen,
at least
it
it's on the
really
chassis.
is cool. It really is cool. And if I was gonna build another car from scratch, I would definitely do it. I don't know. I just think I don't know. I got iffy about it. I feel like I don't know. I'm curious to ride in one that's done right. That's gonna be everything, right?
Yeah.
Because it could be completely opposite what I think.
No, and I think that's the other side of it that just kind of makes this build so cool, is that, it allows, because a lot of people talk shit about what they don't know or what they assume.
Oh, dude.
So, I mean, I want to be able to talk shit. And this is going to allow me to, whether it's good or bad, to say, I've gone down this rabbit
I
hole.
did it. Right. I did it.
Yeah, and this is the reality, whether it's a good reality or a bad reality, but at least I can speak openly and with authority on the subject, and not some other person being like, "Oh, that's a shit ton of weight and a fucking waste of money and blah blah blah." It's like, "Well, have you built one? Have you ridden in one?"
Yeah.
So
Those guys probably don't even have a top tier car as it is. They, you know what I mean? They're just talking shit to talk shit. Honestly, you know what I
well, there's
mean?
lots of those. Yeah.
I have ridden in roadster shop chassis cars, just never a Fox. I mean, I've ridden in Chevelles and things like that, and they ride really nice.
Yeah.
Um, but a Fox body's a little bit different. It's a unibody. It wasn't designed with a chassis, so I'm curious to see where that plays out.
Yeah, me too. Especially if I can get it to sit the way I want it to sit.
You will. You'll get it to sit. Just cut shit
Oh,
up. Fuck it.
yeah.
Why not? I don't know. It's cool. So what else is going on with that, man? Nothing until when do you think you're gonna have it done? If you're not pushing
So
for pits, you're gonna get it out this year.
yeah, I'll get it out this year. There's no like I don't want to like delay stuff or come up with excuses or any of that. The the motor is already here. I've already got
Oh,
the
that's
transmission. Of course, the chassis is loaded with again at least suspension I can ride on and test and all that. So the chassis will be. It was supposed to go out last week. I pushed it a week because I had a friend from Australia visiting, and they're really particular on delivery dates. So within the next 2 weeks, the car's back from the paint shop. I'll have the chassis, and then it's literally like starting to put stuff together. The only big thing that I need to make decisions on is like interior stuff, and then just all like
what
the little
left.
touches.
What do you have left to make decisions on? I thought this was all decided. We had
What?
500 text messages about it.
No, okay. So I got my pattern.
Right.
That's done. Like I have that. I need to come up with what I want to try and like what's leather, what's dyed, what's not. I need to figure out the carpet color. You know what I mean? And like steering
I mean,
wheel.
that's simple. The carpet color is simple gray. Has to be.
You want the carpet gray?
Has to be.
Okay.
Instantly in my head, it has to be.
See, the thing is,
Just because I know the pattern. I know the pattern that you're doing. I know the color combo of the pattern. I know pretty much all of that. If you were to throw like, say, a black carpet in there, it's too much. Black
yeah.
highlights, that's just too much for what the color combo you got going on.
So I agree with what you're saying. The challenge is to, I guess, I don't want to say eliminate black, but reduce the amount of black. So that means like steering wheel would most likely need to be gray. The cluster bezel cover would probably be gray. And
I don't
there,
think so. The steering wheel could still be black.
I don't know. See, here's the other. I've got all these BMWs around me, so like I'm cursed by looking at how they split up their colors because they always do. In most cases, they do a black rug, and somehow they manage to like break things up and do things really good. And so you just and I know you can appreciate this because I see you stare at shit all the time. Like you just literally you'll stand there and you'll start looking at a car and like you're analyzing it and your wheels are turning. It's the same thing, and like I think it's like my inner style or no style, if we want to, depending what your opinion is about it. Um, it's extremely time consuming. And you just like, you know what I mean? You think you've got it nailed down, and then it just takes one person saying something or you see something else, and then it's just like, yeah, crumple and on to the next.
Right. I get it. But I think there's certain parts to a car that are just so unique to themselves that it's okay if they're different. Like a
Yeah.
steering wheel is so unique to itself. There's no other one. It's okay for that to be black and other things. Usually when there's two mirrors, two headlights, those need to be the same. But when you have something so unique like a steering wheel individually, that it's okay to go a different route with that. And it's subtle. And I know the steering wheel. Did you get the flat bottom one or the round one? Hopefully you didn't get the
Um,
flat.
so I don't know what steering wheel I'm going to go with in this car yet. So I got that flat bottom one and for the yellow car,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't mind the flat bottom. I just didn't like the size. So the steering wheel was too small, like
Right.
go-karty. kind of the same thing goes with that Ford Motorsporty, whatever, the one that a lot of people buy that's suede. So then I went back to more of a Momo Monte Carlo design that's got the grips, but then I feel like it's not thick enough. Like I like a nice, like a good beef or thickness on the wheel. So I've actually found another wheel that I ordered today that I want to see how that is. I think it's going to end up in my yellow car. So that'll be the third steering wheel I've gone through just trying to get.
I mean, to me, there's only one steering wheel to put in this car. It's
Which one's that?
Momo, but it's Momo.
Yes.
But
okay. So I agree with the Momo. There is a cool one that I didn't know if it would be too much, but it would sort of kind of go with the theme.
yeah,
And I don't know if you know which one I'd be talking about.
maybe it's what I'm going to send you. Maybe not. Maybe not. That's a Momo. That's the one I would go with.
You sent me one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's what I instantly think of.
Or
no one can see shit.
no one can see shit. This is top. So we're not going to be talking about the wheels, and we're not going to be or the steering wheel.
Right. Sorry. But I promise it's worth the wait. The wheels cannot be sold with the car. I don't really give a fuck.
Well,
I'll buy them.
So I do have a render.
You got one
of
done?
the car being done. So the render, I think, will be done later this week. So the render is going to give a spoiler to the wheels.
I'm glad you took my advice on that.
Yeah.
And the wheels. I'm glad. The rendering, especially because you were like, it's all in my head. I'm like, dude, you're spending like $200,000. Get a picture drawn so you know what it looks like. It's in my head.
So this wheel, I don't know if the red option pops up for you.
Oh.
So I actually like that, just not like that theme. I think is super cool. Just if it could be customized, it'd be even cooler.
You're saying put your seat pattern on that?
Or like maybe just if the colors were changed, like if the black, that's the problem though, because it's got all like the design in the black. I almost wish that was like, if that could have been like a light gray or something.
I see what you're saying. It's not horrible. The shape's good. Like the shape of it's good.
Yeah.
It fits the theme. It's a little busy for me.
Yeah, but I feel like it's going to be a little busy in there. You know what I mean? Like, and again, it's sort of like easy enough to swap out.
Wouldn't you want the busyness, like someone's eyes to focus on the busyness that you created, like with your seat pattern?
True.
Versus too busy?
True.
Because I feel like if you throw this, I like it. Don't get me wrong. I think it could look cool. But if you put that in there, is that so busy that it's going to take away from your seats, which I mean, we know how long that took to figure out.
Yeah. Well, funny enough, I'm wondering if on the wheel you sent me, if I could actually get that center section done with my own in there. Like almost I got a tattoo artist to like fucking airbrush it all on or something, you know?
Yeah, so you could always overlay it too or paint it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like airbrush it, you definitely could. Or you could do like a plain overlay on the horn button, and then to the right, you see like where the metal spoke comes out to the right or to the left, engrave that, and then in red, engrave your logo to the right side of it in the metal, and then fill it in with red paint, like tip.
Oh, okay. I'm digging the engraving. Because that's sort of like how the other wheels have the Momo logo engraved, and it's usually filled in with the yellow paint, right?
So I envision this
same thing.
Yeah, so I envision this with like either airbrush or an overlay over the button, which is plain, like plain. Maybe a little something, like a tiny little horn emblem like you would see on like an OEM car, but it would be like not dead center, maybe at the bottom or off to the bottom, to the right a little bit, like, but the same color as overlay. So if the overlay's black, the horn signal's black, so you can't even see it. And then right to the right of it, you put your emblem, fill it in with red, and then it would say tip instead of Momo.
Yeah. Good idea. I like it.
And that's the exact steering wheel that comes on the car. That's been an inspiration. You with me?
Nice. Can you send me the actual link instead of the screenshot?
Yeah, I could try to find that. Yeah.
Or I can probably Google it. So see, folks, that's just a steering wheel. This is what goes through decision making.
About 400 text messages. This is on eBay, Chris.
That's
But
fine, because I don't think I'll have to see if it's actually available on Momo's site still, because it might not be.
it probably is not without the Momo. See, this one doesn't. It's made by Momo, but the company, the car builder, very famous car builder, probably opts to have their emblem on it versus the Momo. That's why it doesn't come with that. So you could probably get this, but it's
Yeah.
probably going to come with the Momo logo, which you don't want.
Yeah.
You want to make your own.
Sweet. Well, shit, dude. But when do you need to be off here? We got what, 8 minutes, 5 minutes?
You got 20 minutes.
Okay. So you can have a nap.
I got to try to at least get 2 hours sleep because I'm going to be up. So that'll be like 48 hours with like 2-3 hours of sleep.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
It's becoming part of my life. Literally, I do this like weekly anymore. What are you going to do?
Oh. So
I'm not even so concerned about that. The shitty part is we're getting this blizzard right at the time I'm going to be getting off tomorrow. So like the time I'm driving home, it's going to be like 2 inches an hour snow coming down.
So it's crazy that you're actually getting weather tonight as well, which I think a lot of places are, because it's like normally there's a storm and there's a bunch of weather and it just kind of keeps moving. It just feels like everyone is underneath the storm in some regard this evening.
Yeah, it's like 22 a 2,200 mile storm or something like that. It's covering a huge part of the United States. It's giant.
Unreal,
It's
man.
giant.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think we've seen a storm like this. I mean, the one I remember is 96 when we got this kind of. We've gotten some deep snow before. 96 was a little bit different. That was like 36 inches. But we haven't gotten one shot this big in a couple years. 3-4 years it's been, I would imagine. Maybe longer. One shot. We'll get like 10 inches and then 2 days later another 10 inches, but one shot storm, it's been a while.
Yeah.
And that's challenges for us too, right? Like for what I do, like people are like, "Oh my God, ice is the worst. Ice is the worst. Outages, outages, outages." This is true. Like once you get to a certain level of ice on lines, the weight gets, it brings them down. But what people don't understand is you actually get a faster restoration time with ice than you will with snow. Like, because now you're not dealing with a primary line buried in 18 inches of snow. Like, so if I get sent out to do, what happens is in these big storms is no matter what your job is in the company, unless you're needed for that job, you get sent out on what we call like a hazard responder type deal. So like if say your power line comes down on your street, you call it in, and I'm not working in a substation where I normally would. I'll go out and say, okay, we need this. There's a single phase primary down or a 3-phase primary down. This fuse, pole, cross arm, transformer, all broke. Call it in, and then this way, it's already in the system. The crew could just get what they need. Come, boom, 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 boom. So that's dangerous for us because a lot of times when the lines come down, they're energized, so we can't just get out and start walking around when there's like 18 inches of snow. So say that thing comes down 2 hours into the storm, and then we're 20 hours later, and you got 22 inches of storm over it. And that line's energized. I can't just get out and walk around. Like now that we at that point we're putting on certain meters on our hard hats that pick up induced voltage, so we know if we're getting close to a line, and then now you're fishing for it. So ice, it's a little bit different. we can see what it is, so the restoration's quicker.
Gotcha.
There's misconceptions, Also, you know, not for nothing, like doing this for as long as I've been doing this, and I work in substations. For those who don't know, I deal with uh, like 34,000 volts all the way up to 500,000 volts substation transformers. Everyone should have a generator. I'm just gonna go on there and say that right now. Like, I don't care where you live. Everyone should have a generator. Knowing and understanding how our grid works and the age of it, it's hugely important. Like you're dealing with like transformers that are made in the 40s and 50s. Like this is not just my area. This is like nationwide.
Yeah.
And the southern people, what they don't understand is, everyone assumes we're getting a winter storm, power outages, this, that, and the other thing. There's actually way more load on a substation and our infrastructure, our electrical grid in the summertime and hot weather than there is in the winter. There's a lot less load on our infrastructure in the wintertime. Really, the only outages you got to worry about in the winter are storms. But summer, you could have failures all over the place, and there's a
Yeah.
lot of reasons for that.
Well, I guess because, AC is all generated off electricity versus heat. Could be oil, it could be
Yeah,
gas, it could be fire, it could be, you know what I mean, versus
it's
having
right.
electric heat. Yeah.
It's also not just AC. It's the heat itself. In other words, like, so say you have a 7,200 single phase line feeding your house to your secondary. So that line would be like coming out of the substation. It would go down your poles, hit your transformer, then it gets reduced and it goes into your house, right? That line a lot of times is like pencil thin. So usually the highest voltage on a telephone pole is the smallest line, and that's
Right.
less restriction, right? So it can push it further. So people don't get it. Like you can have a 20 square mile radius. Like you could draw a square on a map. It's 20 square miles, but with inside that 20 square miles, you could have 80 miles of line,
Right.
right? Like one circuit. Like I know of circuits that are 76 miles long, 76 miles of line long. So obviously, if a tree branch, we don't can't pick all this stuff. If a tree branch comes down, hits it, it loosens a connection that creates a hot spot. In the wintertime, when it's cold, that's not a big deal. It's so cold, it doesn't have a chance to get, like, say, above 160 degrees Celsius. We read everything in Celsius, and that would be like our urgent number is like 160 C. Now, when it's 100 degrees or 90 degrees, and you have a hot spot from a loose connection, it's melting. It'll melt it. So I actually got a license to do thermography up here. We have to have a license. It's like the same license that state troopers would have to fly helicopters with infrared.
Yep.
So like we patrol the lines and look for hotspots just for that reason for the summertime because they'll melt. So the heat actually has way more stress on the grid than the wintertime. So everyone should get a generator no matter where you live. I mean, that's just the reality of it. That's
Yeah.
my advice.
Well, here's hoping that everybody keeps their power and the grid does what it needs to do during this winter storm. I sure hope so.
I think you're fine, right? I think it's like some of the Carolinas that are getting some of the ice, and they're
Well,
fucked.
it just depends how much precipitation, you know what I mean, and how much weight. And being out in the country, everything is it's not buried, it's exposed, and there's tons of trees and liabilities of limbs, to fall
Yeah.
down onto stuff. I think quite a bit got repaired a couple of years ago, but you just never know, right? And it's just not a fun time losing power. We do have a generator, but like it's not an auto switch on or anything. Like I'll have to go outside and
Well, you guys down there, you don't really need all that. You just need to get you just get a transfer switch hooked up, and you could run a portable. I mean, for you, Chris, you probably only need like 5,000 kV. Like up here, we need big shit, you know.
yeah,
But for you, you're not worried about running heat for the most part. I mean, today you are, but generally,
yeah.
like in the sun, you know what I mean. You guys aren't. I don't know. It's not
But
the
us,
same. You're
it's
not
like,
running.
man, as long as the fridges are, refrigerators, so our meat's not going bad. And like in the
Right.
winter, it doesn't matter. If we lose power, we just throw it all outside, you know what I mean? And some coolers
Yeah.
and you're good because you let winter do it for you. But Yeah, it's just our only concern is just staying warm, and if there's some Wi-Fi to help us get through, you know?
Right. But no, I mean, everyone really should. You know, you see people complain about, oh, I was out for 4 days or 5 days or 6 days. And I'm like, I've worked storms where people have been out well over 20, well over 20.
Yeah.
Like, say your area, like up by us, it's very wooded. Say your area is one of those circuits that's like 76 miles long, right? And a fucking tornado comes through, or high winds blow through that area and wreck that circuit. Now there's 76 miles of line and there's trees down all over that circuit. So what we'll do is we'll send multiple crews out on that. And then like there's a switch point here and there's a switch point here. So we'll open this switch, we'll red tag it, we'll go to the end of the circuit, we'll open that switch, we'll red tag it. Now no one's supposed to work in between those. No one, you work in between those red tags, not outside them. So you could have 7, 8, 9, 10 crews on one circuit that's just your house, right? That's feeding your house.
Yeah.
So what happens is this guy gets done, they peel off. That guy gets done, they peel off. Once they feel like everything's fixed, you have to have someone. This is what people are like. I saw the line truck parked on the side of the road for 4 hours doing nothing, and I've had no power for 3 days. Well, most likely what's happening is they're patrolling the line.
Yeah.
Because if we have 13 crews on a line that's 80 miles long, we have to be 100% positive that there's no crews still on that line when we light it, when you switch it back in. So everyone will finish their work and then we'll patrol that line. And then once we know it's clear, you can switch it back in. Everyone gets their power. Now imagine that's one circuit. Now imagine that on 400 circuits,
Yeah.
right? So it's one of those deals. Like 6 days ain't horrible depending on the kind of storm you're dealing with. You know what I mean?
Oh, for sure, man. Oh, it's
But
crazy.
yeah, it is what it is. I mean, it's gonna not be fun, but whatever.
Yeah.
And Gary's living like he's living fucking Hawaii up there. It's pretty wild.
Yep, sure is. Well, shit, man. I'll
Yeah.
uh
I
I'll
know
let you
you
get
guys
to
like
that.
to, I know you guys like to do your 3 4 hour pods, and I would love to talk with you more about a whole bunch of other things that are on my mind now that we started talking. But I really do need to try to
Yeah.
relax, get some eat, go to sleep.
No, it's
So I'm
all
glad.
good. Appreciate you keeping our grid up and helping me out with the podcast here. And yeah, it was good catching up. I look forward to pits, man. It'll be right around the corner. So
Yeah, man. Well, we'll talk before that for sure.
yeah,
But
absolutely.
yeah, thanks for having me. Always glad to fill in if I can for you guys. You know that. Gary's slack ass. But
So true.
all right, everybody. Thanks for having me. Thanks again, Chris.
Yeah, you're welcome, man. Thanks.